All right, folks. This week on Let's Talk Snowboarding, we got a certified banger of an episode. We got Brad Compton in the booth. And I first met Brad when I started working with the Ski Shack up in Hayden, Idaho. Brad is the Ski Shack team manager. We really should call him the Ski Shack team dad. He runs everything from the Dougie Fresh Bank Slalom. And he really has been an inspiration to myself. This guy runs around giving out gear, raising money, and getting kids gear through all the youth groups up here in North Idaho. And he doesn't ask for a thing in return. He's hustling and bustling, and he does his thing every single day. And also, he's just a really, really good human. And he's been an inspiration to myself. And so I'm really stoked to have him on the podcast this week. I also want to say thank you to all of our sponsors. We always got to shout out Mountain Vibes, Ski Shack in Hayden, Fine Brewed on Sherman, Haganon Technologies, and of course Ticket Goat. We want to thank Josh for always producing for us down here at Haganon Technologies offices. And without further ado, let's get into it, the Brad Compton episode. All right, everyone, we're back with another episode of Let's Talk Snowboarding, as always presented by Mountain Vibes. And we got to give a big shout out to Josh on the producing end. Josh, how are you doing today?
Doing good. How you guys doing?
Oh, doing great. Doing great. And in the booth today, we got the legend, Brad Compton. How's it going, Brad?
It's going good.
Great. How's your morning been so far?
Morning's been good. Up, make sure my kitties are fed and outside. Little run around the backyard and back in. No breakfast this morning. A little coffee.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. You, how many cats do you have?
2.
Okay.
Nelly Gato and Kendi Lulu.
And how old are they?
10 and 8.
Okay.
Nelly's a little lengthy, long legs, and Lulu's a little shorter and a little stockier.
Yeah, that makes sense. My over the past couple of days, we've had the grandparents up here from the kiddos and stuff. So that's been fun. And my parents actually, when my wife and I moved into our house and stuff, and we had our kids, we were like, I don't know if we can handle. I had a cat at the time. She was a little calico called Sloan. Yeah. And I think she's almost 12 now. But I always get a report. I took her down to my parents' house because they were looking for another cat.
Right.
And it just worked out perfectly. And they love her, and she's
good.
great. Yeah, she's doing well. She's healthy and sprightly, and a little sassy one, that one.
Oh, yeah. I never would have thought I would have had cats alone. I've had dogs, hunting dogs, and my whole life. But these cats we're together.
Yeah,
the 3 of us are a family.
Cats are snugglers for the most part.
Well, Lulu is.
Okay.
The little chubby one, she loves to snuggle. Nelly just as soon slap you right in the face, really. But she's a blast.
They make you work for their affection, right?
Yes.
Dogs are a little bit more, they're just happy all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
You said, so hunting dogs. What kind of dogs did you have?
I had golden retrievers back in the day, yeah, and mostly upland, so we were pheasant hunting most of the time. But Sis was a heck of a duck hunter and a goose hunter too. She was all around awesome.
Very nice. So we're in the week of Christmas right now, recording this. How's it been? You got family in town, and how's the holidays been treating you thus far?
It's been great. Thanksgiving was a blast. I was over at my sister's. She lives in Spokane, so short track over there, and it was small group this year. Everything's a little bit smaller this year, which is good. And this Christmas, my youngest son Jerry and I will hang out Christmas Day, and then Christmas Eve day.
Okay.
And then we'll hang out with family, grandkids that night, and then we go to my daughter Alicia's in the morning, and then
Nice.
and then that's it. It's perfect.
Nice. And do you go over to Jerry's house, or does he come to you?
Jerry and he'll come to me. He'll stay at my house. So him and I'll hit lunch, probably go to church, and then to his mother's, where all the grandkids will be,
Okay.
and then to my house, stay the night, and
Nice.
then off to Alicia's in the morning.
Did you have a good time after the Ski Shack 50th?
I did.
Staying the night at Jerry's, right there, up there on the hill. Not a long trek for you.
No, we went right up on the hill, and I don't know, it was 11 o'clock, by the time we got done.
Yeah,
right?
I think we finished up right around 11.
Yeah, right around 11 o'clock, we got stuff loaded up. So we get up there around 11:30, and he plays me a couple songs on the guitar, and which I had never heard him do them, and I'm like, dude, you sing too? And
Nice.
it was awesome. And then anyway, he got done with that, and he says, "So, are you okay here by yourself?"
He's like,
I'm gonna go meet some buddies downtown. I'm like, dude,
no.
it's like 12:30.
yeah, go. Yeah, I guess you could say that there's a couple spots in downtown that you can get out till like 2 a.m. or so.
Yeah.
Iron Horse probably being one of them, and probably the Moose too. I don't know. I've had buddies do that before too, where we're hanging out at the house and stuff, and it's like almost midnight. They're like, "Oh, we want to keep it going. We're gonna go play pool down at this spot in downtown." I'm like, "What?" Like,
Right.
I got kids, so I'm just like, "Oh, all right."
Oh yeah. So well, and I think there was a party this weekend. Caleb had a party, and
fun.
I had my roof shingles blow off, so I've been
we were
busy
talking
doing
about that. Yeah.
And that windstorm we had. So anyway, I was busy with that. But it sounds like Jer went, and they called me from there. They had a good time.
Yeah. It seems like it's been quite an interesting winter so far. A warm and
Warm and wet.
soaker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you consume any news or anything like that for the listeners and stuff, like the Pacific Northwest as a whole, all the way over to Montana and down into the west side. I mean, really the west side of Washington, and now Oregon's getting hit too. It's just been flooded out.
Yeah.
Rivers are flooded, and then right after the flooding, we just had a massive, massive windstorm hit everybody. So the amount of damage that has happened, and some snow to speak of, nothing that we're used to.
No.
By now Schweitzer should have all the lifts open, but today was the first day that the quad opened, and they only opened it to get right back to the Basin Express.
Right.
And we were talking about that it's just like, wow, this is historic lows for everybody.
It's
crazy.
pretty tough. That line is just north of us up there around Nelson.
That's right.
And
So Whitewater looks good.
Whitewater, yeah, they had
And above.
They had 4 lifts spinning and 40 runs. Red was a little lower. It's not quite, but from Whitewater north, they seem to be doing pretty decent.
I've seen some strike missions happening in the last week from some of the guys that I follow, especially like the Potato Boys, and a lot of friends up at Schweitzer in the area. They're all doing strikes to Revelstoke.
Yeah.
Revelstoke's got it.
Oh yeah,
They got and I saw the forecast for them. They were looking at 30 inches over the past 5 to 7 days. So
right.
and they already had a pretty solid base, so they're looking good.
Over a span of time, that becomes fairly common. You know, every so often you're chasing it, and that's a good place to go. That's for sure.
I know. No, I saw a clip from Baldface this morning that it was just they're deep up there. So
yeah, for sure.
So, this is right around the time that shout out to Chad Riley. This is his few day trip to Baldface coming up here soon.
Right?
Yeah, he does it every year. So hopefully I get a link in on that one.
Oh yeah.
Maybe have you ever been up to Baldface?
No. Valhalla and Big Red.
Okay,
but not Baldface.
Okay, so hopefully, fingers crossed. Chad said that every November, 2 to 3 spots open up in his crew of 12.
Oh, nice.
And he's always looking for a buddy or a couple buddies to roll with that are down to just go on a strike to Baldface at the end of December. So
That's a good, and
Maybe
it's a
we'll
great
get
time
that
to go.
done.
You know, you hit those. We used to do that at Big Red all the early season, December, before. So that it's lower conditions, lower snow conditions, but the humps and the bumps and the gullies and everything, it's just a blast to ride.
Yeah.
You know, because you get there mid-season, peak season, and it starts flattening out a bit. I mean, it's still a blast, but it is fun early season. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah, it is a good time. It's always like the terrain is just always ever changing, you know, before
Right.
all those humps and bumps fill in.
Oh, yeah,
You can
yeah.
send some nice little
It's a
boulders
blast.
and whatnot. So, yeah.
Get a good guide, and you can
Oh,
get
yeah.
after it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So let's get into it, man. Brad, where'd you grow up?
So I was born in Davenport, Washington. Actually born in Spokane, but lived in Davenport, a
Okay.
little farming community west of Spokane. And then we moved to Spokane in '68, I believe. And so I went to school all through high school in Spokane, graduated from North Central.
Nice.
And spent a lot of time over here at the lake and the mountains,
Of course.
all the while growing up. And then I ended up moving over here with work in 1985.
Okay.
And I've been here ever since.
What was that work that you were doing at the time?
I worked for the Washington Water Power, hired on with the Washington Water Power, that is now Avista.
Okay.
And has been for some time. But I hired on with Washington Water Power in Spokane in '84, and then got an apprenticeship here in Coeur d'Alene in '85, and never left. Glad
Nice.
I didn't.
Nice. Nice. What's your position?
I was a lineman, so
Okay.
I came up, hired on just as a kid and doing grunt work, and got an apprenticeship, and then I think ended up being 25 years as a line serviceman, so on a one-man truck, and
Wow.
and so it was great, especially for snowboarding.
Yeah.
So as long as I had everything done and anything that I had covered, it was pretty awesome. They if it snowed, they knew where I was.
Yeah. Yeah. You could kind of look at your week and
Yeah, it was.
and be
it
like,
was pretty-
okay, well, the snow's going to hit here. Let's get everything done before
Yeah.
it's before
Yeah, it
the
was
snow's
cool.
good.
I would ride 50 days a year
Oh wow,
while I was working.
nice.
So
That's a cool job.
that's how cool it was. Yeah.
That's awesome,
Yep.
dude. Nice. I when I first moved up here, I think it was like probably the first or second year I was here. I was just kind of figuring out what I wanted to do. I was in between jobs. I had a long regional lumber route that I drove, big trucks for, flatbed work, all that kind of stuff up through Central Washington and stuff. But my route just kind of started to become unavailable at that time. And I was looking around, and so I applied to Avista, and I did the groundman.
right.
Groundman tryout. It was, I thought I was good. That was hard, man. I was like, holy crap. They give you I think 15 minutes to dig it. It was like digging a trench and laying down
Conduit?
conduit pipe and burying it again. And it has to be a certain level and all this
Do you
stuff.
remember what year that was?
Probably 2019, 2020.
Oh, so COVID time.
So probably I would say maybe it was 18. Yeah, it was probably 18. It was
Okay,
right
okay.
about a year, the summer before COVID.
Before that hit.
Yeah, summer before
Okay.
COVID, I tried that, and then I didn't make it, of course, and so I just went back to trucking. I got hired at Builders First Source.
Right. No, yeah.
And did local deliveries and stuff, which is totally fine. I was totally happy. My boss was awesome there.
Right, right.
It was a good time.
That's
and
cool.
So it was super cool. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, so Davenport, what was it? You remember? You got some fond memories of living out in Davenport, because those of us who are here in the region know that Davenport is a fairly isolated, not much going on town over there, farming community.
County seat of Lincoln County, dude.
That's right. It is. It's a cool town. I pass through there a lot, but it is.
And I knew the judge.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Oh, it was great. Family. My grandma and grandpa, my aunts and uncles, my cousins, right there in Davenport and Harrington, and so it was awesome.
Yeah.
it was awesome growing up. We had a cabin down on the river, Lake Roosevelt.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah, just right outside of there.
yeah, spent probably, once we moved to Spokane, then I spent every summer down on the river.
Yeah.
So, and that's one place that I truly miss. I miss spending time down on Lake Roosevelt, on the Spokane arm especially. I miss it a bunch.
Yeah. Yeah, I get some good walleye fishing down at Lake
It's
Roosevelt.
funny you say that. So I was, I don't know, 8, 9 years old. And, back then in those days, I could go take my grandpa's 14-foot Hughes Craft boat, had a little 10-horse motor, 12-horse motor on it.
Nice.
There's no fish finders, no anything like that. But my grandpa's buddy, Albert, who had a little boathouse down there, and I thought I was sneaky, but I'd follow him, and I'd come home with a boat. The bottom of that boat was chock full of walleye. There was no limit. There was nothing. And so I'd just catch them until the boat was full and get home. And my dad would be so PO'd at me just because he had to fillet most of them, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, walleye fishing. And it stayed. Those places still today. This is 50 years ago or better. Those places still today are some of the best walleye fishing down there.
Yeah. Yeah. My buddy Steve, he's a big fisherman. Like, he loves fly fishing.
Right.
But he just recently got like a fancy boat.
Yeah.
And his family has a cabin on Lake Roosevelt right now.
Oh,
and
that's
so
cool.
some of his he does a ton of YouTube stuff. So he does YouTube videos whenever he can, and some of his most recent videos are Lake Roosevelt walleye fishing. And I was like, oh, that's freaking cool. He's like, well, you come out, bud. We can get you out there, and we can cook up some walleye at the end of the day instead of sending them all back.
Yeah. Well, I've been fishing for walleye down there in Lake Roosevelt for 62 years.
Wow. Okay.
That's a long time.
Yeah. So like back in the day, you used to be able to keep. I mean, you said there was no limit, and then back in the day on the rivers and stuff, you could keep trout.
Yeah. And that's what I started fishing for when the little bitty guy was trout, but walleye wasn't really popular back then.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sometimes I would like to get out to the lakes, and go fishing for, rainbows and stuff, because they're such, for those who don't know, like, trout is some good eating, in my opinion. I love me some rainbow trout, like similar to like, some salmon, same kind of texture and all that kind of stuff, good flavor and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a blast down there, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And then when did your family kind of make that move over to Spokane?
1968. We moved to Spokane in 68, and so I started school. Lived in the Shadle Park North Central border pretty much the whole time.
All right.
And was slated to go to Shadle, and then we moved out to 9 Mile, out onto the Long Lake, and which was great for me for water skiing.
Oh yeah.
But moved out there, so I ended up going to North Central. Is where I ended up going to high school.
Very cool.
Yep.
Nice. And then, getting into when the transition was over here to Idaho. What year was that?
85. I hired on with the Western Water Power in 84, and then moved over here in 85. And
did you settle in Rathdrum?
No, I moved to Post Falls. Lived right on the river in Post Falls, right at the end of Greens Ferry.
Oh,
lived right there on the river for a year or two. I lose track.
That would be just above the dam.
Yeah,
just above the dam.
Not far above the dam.
Yeah.
So, lived there, and then moved to Coeur d'Alene out on Fernan.
Okay.
Not far from where you live.
Nice.
And then back to Post Falls, and then to Hayden, and then back to Coeur d'Alene. I was an apprentice, and I didn't buy a house back then. And then finally bought a house in Coeur d'Alene, and then I lived out in Alder Creek for a little while.
Very cool.
Then landed in Rathdrum, and I'm glad I did. I love it out there. So, but Rathdrum was the last town.
Well, Rathdrum's the last town, dude. Yeah. Yeah, Rathdrum's blowing up.
Oh, it is.
I mean,
it is.
the whole prairie, right?
Yeah.
Like Post Falls, Hayden, Rathdrum, just like it's all going to just start to converge
Right.
on itself.
The cool thing about Rathdrum is you got Rathdrum Mountain. You got that little, you got that ridge of mountains right there. And so it's limited. I mean, it's right there. So you still have that little, small town vibe, at least right in the town of Rathdrum.
Yeah,
I mean, you're getting out on the prairie. You got subdivisions popping up like crazy, but
you can tell it's a small town. We got a Bi-Mart out there. Yes. I grew up on Bi-Mart.
Totally.
Yeah, I used to deliver some really cool houses out there, like at the base of Rathdrum Mountain, all the way up to like Twin Lakes, west of Twin Lakes, up in the hills up there and stuff. So, yeah, it was very, very cool. Love that area out there, all the way up to Spirit Lake and into Blanchard and up to Newport. Yeah, it's a fun drive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not much out there, but it's a whole different area going up to like Priest and stuff like that. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, outside of the corridor of the 95 into Sandpoint and all that stuff. So, at what age did you start to get into snowboarding?
So I started skiing. There wasn't snowboarding that I knew of.
Yeah.
I was older actually, so probably 10, and my buddies skied. So we went to Mount Spokane and rode up the chair, all the way up the chair. And I got off, and they took off, and there I was. And that's when it all started.
Yeah,
that's when it all started. And so I skied for many years, 25 years, I think.
Okay.
Taught my kids how to ski, and over here, I think at Lookout.
Yeah.
So while I was in Spokane, though, Mount Spokane and 49 degrees north was my home mountains at one point.
Okay.
Family from Davenport and Harrington would go to 49, right to Chewelah.
Yep.
And so we'd spend winters up there, or we'd spend winters at Mount Spokane. And then once we moved here in '85, then our home mountain was Lookout when the kids were small. Then our home mountain was Silver. Then our home mountain was Schweitzer. So all 5 of them have been my home mountain at some point in my life. But it as far as snowboarding went, my oldest son, Jake, wanted to give it a try. And so in Coeur d'Alene, we ski dogs or something. It was a rental shop right by the old Black Sheep.
Oh, okay.
So we went and got gear for him and went up, and he tomahawked down every run Lookout had, and all I did was pick his gear up all day.
Yeah.
Thought, I don't know if I'm going to be trying that anytime soon, And at some point, a friend of mine, we coached the kids in baseball together and football, and his name's Matt, and he was the first guy that I saw snowboard that I was looking at him going, as I'm skiing behind him going, okay, that looks fun. That looks cool. And I think it was the next winter, then my youngest son and I, who were still skiing together, Jerry and I, went to 49, met my cousins and his kids, and Jerry and I went into the rental shop at 49, got a board and a pair of boots, and we were going to all do it together, my cousin and his son. And actually, I think both my cousins were there. So anyway, they came walking up in their ski gear, which just lit a fire under me. Like, all right, I'm going to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
And so Jerry and I started that day 27 years ago, and never looked back.
Okay, 27 years ago, so late 90s.
Late 90s.
Late 90s is when you
Late
switched.
90s, and I had no idea at the time, so we didn't grow up with wakeboards. I grew up slalom skiing.
Yeah.
And so we had trick skis. And where we grew up on the lake, we had buddies that were really into the competition. So they had a jump, and we'd all do the pyramids. We spent a ton of time on the lake, and so slalom skiing was a passion of mine, right?
Sure.
So we didn't have wakeboards and all that. So by the time Jerry and I got on the snowboard, the kids had wakeboarded a little bit. I wakeboarded a little bit back then, but I had no idea that getting on a snowboard would have been so similar to riding a slalom water ski. I had no idea because you think of...
Oh, you're okay. I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, I was like, I know there's a button for that
Yeah.
over here, but I did not
We're not
push
trying to
it.
give Brad crickets right now. I was like, Josh, is Josh
Oh
like
my
giving
gosh.
you crickets?
That was,
What?
that was the last thing I was going to do when I came in here. I was talking to the insurance lady on the phone. But anyway, excuse me. Crickets are gone.
Yeah, crickets are good. We're fine. We're fine. That's just going to give it to the vibe in here right now. That's fun, man. I like that.
Oh, dude. So, yeah. So anyway, I had no idea that riding a snowboard was so similar when it came to carving, because I wasn't I didn't do much jumping and spinning on a slalom water ski, but boy, did we carve hard. We had a course across from my house for as long as I lived out there. So, I mean, it was so much fun. So I kicked myself for not giving it a shot earlier or before that, but like I said, it opened up a whole new world for me, for sure.
That's cool to hear, man. So you mentioned Lake Roosevelt. Were you guys on mainly Lake Roosevelt doing that kind of stuff?
So that's where I learned how to water ski. And I was on one water ski. I don't know if I was on 2 water skis for maybe 4 runs and ended up dropping a water ski, and then
the mono.
And then that was it.
That's fun.
I was on that.
That's
and then,
like the stacked stance, right?
Yeah.
On one ski.
Yeah. And so, when it comes to that, it made it a little bit easier, because when we went to the rental shop, the guy said, well, what foot are you going to put forward? Well, I didn't have to think about it. I always had my left foot forward on that water ski. So a few things that worked together when I started. You were a little bit more sideways, of course, but really just, for anybody that's strapped one of those things on, just figuring out the edges and how to carve it, and which, again, I really believe that helped me. So my learning curve was a lot shorter than what it would have been if I wasn't ever on a water ski, I think.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of people that, do that kind of stuff, whether it be water skiing, wakeboarding.
Right.
And then, especially skating, like skateboarding.
Yep.
That all translates. So,
right.
Yeah, that was a good thing to have. Did you, when you first started getting onto the board, what was your stance like? I'm kind of curious. Since you kind of had the stacked water ski stance, were you a posy guy for carving?
I honestly don't know that. I know that I know the guys in the rental shop, and you keep in mind there was very so when my cousins went in later they saw that I could get down the hill. Then there was no rental stuff left. There wasn't that much rental gear back in those days.
Yeah.
It's not like a full shop of rental gear that they got now, So, there was a handful of boards and a handful of pairs of boots. So I remember them asking me what foot to go forward, but I didn't ever think about a stance.
Sure.
So I don't know what it was. I don't believe I was... I mean, when I bought a board right after that and set my own up myself, and I was pretty square, because again I didn't know.
Yeah.
But I kept my back foot, that binding, pretty squared off, and then I moved my front forward, and then it wasn't long after that, by the following season, so the third year that I was at it, that I was basically 16 degrees forward and 6 degrees back, and that's what it's been for forever.
That's solid. I like that stance. Guys, I want to talk to you about a new sponsor that we have. So, big shout out to our friends at Fine Brewed Cafe in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Whether you're gearing up for a powder day or winding down after a long ride, Fine Brewed has you covered with craft coffee, legendary mimosas, and a killer vibe. They're all about fueling adventures, connecting the community, and keeping you caffeinated for whatever the mountain throws your way. So next time you're in town in Coeur d'Alene, stop by Fine Brewed on Sherman Avenue, grab a cup,
and keep chasing that stoke.
Yeah, this is kind of a do everything stance.
Yep.
A little bit more carvy slash
A little bit
powder
more
day.
directional, yeah.
Focused. Nice. And getting back to your days out on the lake, because as we all know, up here, in Eastern Washington and the Panhandle, we love our summers, and we love, like, everyone loves being out on the lake, whether
Yes.
you're paddle boarding or anything like that,
Right.
and getting out on the boats and whatever you may be doing. What was did you guys have your own boat, like a jet ski boat?
So I had a bass boat, was the first boat that
Okay.
I bought myself. My folks, we always had ski boats, right?
Yeah.
And then they went to a bigger cruiser type boat. And then I went to a bass boat, but it was a fishing ski, so I could set it up for skiing. So that when
Sure.
the kids were small, that's what we did,
awesome.
and I fished a ton. And then went to a 23-foot, had a cuddy. We started, so I could still take the kids wakeboarding and skiing and tubing. I didn't fish out of it much anyway. And yeah, we were down on Coeur d'Alene Lake for years, and then probably around 2012, move out to Ponderay
Okay.
and then was out there until I built a house in Rathdrum.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I was putting so much time into that place out there. I sold our boat, and then I haven't owned a boat since.
Were you Southside Ponderay, like Bayview, or did you get up north?
Started in Garfield.
Oh, cool.
And Garfield was still old school at that time. But they had slips. They had that big water break out there still. So I think we were a couple years in Garfield. And then I had, I got a ton of friends up in Sandpoint, and had a buddy, and his family had been in Kootenai Bay for forever. So we actually went up and moored in Sandpoint for a couple years.
Okay.
Then back to Garfield, and then I think we actually tried it in Templins because we moved back to Post Falls or whatever. I forget exactly how it went. And that was great again back, but Coeur d'Alene had gotten, that was a little overwhelming almost.
Yeah, it's busy, man.
Yeah, and so headed up to Bayview and we were in at Bayview there for last 5 or 6 years of having a boat.
I remember like last summer, we had family come into town, and my mother-in-law, she always gets us like a big pontoon boat. And we used to have property down in Worley, right across from Harrison at Spokane Point. And we've since, sold that. It was just an old lake cabin, but it had, a beach and waterfront and a dock and all that kind of stuff. So it was super fun. And but man, this last summer, and then we also had another time where we had friends come into town, and we, myself, I'm always the captain, right? Like, no one knows how to drive the boat. I'm the only one who's like out on the water all the time. I'm the one driving the boat. Dylan, you're driving the boat all day. I'm like, okay, great. And so we always go to Harrison, and man, it was both of them were weekdays. It was just like a mid-weekday in like July and August. And that place, it was a zoo, dude. I'd never seen it so busy. You couldn't find one spot at the public docks over there and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, oh man, this lake is getting crowded, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
we kept moving south, because we moored it at the yacht club.
Yeah.
For so many years, and just kind of kept moving south. We'd get in the boat and just basically head straight to Carlin.
Yeah.
And then straight to Powderhorn, and then straight to Conkling Park,
A little bit less population out there. Yeah.
Right. And until that ran out.
Right.
And that's basically when we and there was some, that doesn't scare me. There's still plenty of room. A little bit different right now with the amount of wakes that the wakeboard scene. That was hardly going on. That was kind of just getting started. And, you go out there now, that definitely makes an impact. The size of boats and then the wakeboard boats. So,
Well, wake surfing too, just
exactly.
just crazy waves being made all over the place.
Right. So it gets
the bellows in the back, and
it gets pretty tough,
Yeah.
Yeah. You're speaking Josh's language right now. But I wanted to ask you real quick. You guys ever get up to Chain Lakes? You ever kind of dive away and go up the Coeur d'Alene River and get out there?
So when I had my bass boat, I spent, I don't know, years on the Chain Lakes.
Great.
I mean, years. And
Everyone is always so confused when I mention it to people. What's the Chain Lakes? I'm like, oh, you guys are missing out, dude.
Right.
Like, you don't have to go there. You can stay on the main lake because
Yeah.
they're always like, there's lakes up there. And I'm like, yeah.
So
you just
much
have to
fun.
know where to look and
When-
where the entrances are.
As long as you could get through the channel or under the bridges, I took my
Yeah.
other boat in there. You know, it got a little tight sometimes on top of the bridge, you know, between the top of your windshield and the bridge. But we got through there, and we'd camp in there back when you could.
Sure.
All the time. So, yeah, I spent a lot of time on every chain lake, whether it was
Great.
usually bass fishing.
Oh yeah,
but-
great fishing back there.
But it did a fair amount of duck hunting back there, too. You
Of
know,
course,
back in the
yeah.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some awesome scenery and habitat
Right.
for the ducks out there. There's just really any of those lakes you go to, it's all time.
And it was the same thing up at Chacolette, Round Lake, Benawa,
Sure.
and up the St. Joe drainage, you know.
Yep.
All the way up to Falls Creek, basically.
Yeah.
You could navigate all the way up there. So, and I still fish up there pretty regular,
Nice. I like to hear that, man.
you know.
I'm a little higher. I'm a fly fisherman, so
Well, me too, right? So got into that. So I fly fished this whole time. So I would fish basically 7 days a week back in the.
oh, that's cool.
So I'd go from walleye fishing in the winter, a little more of a or fall, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd bass fish, then fly fish for trout, then steelhead fish,
Sure.
and then go on some kind of meat hunt because I'm pretty much catch and release unless we're going to the coast or do something to fill the freezer. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I still fish for bass and I still fly fish.
Yeah. That's the one thing I do miss. Like it's Idaho is mainly, a lot of catch and release and stuff like that. But I grew up in Southwest Oregon. So I grew up like going and bobbing eggs for,
Oh yeah.
for big Chinooks and
Yeah.
and during the fall run and all that stuff. So we
Right.
could bring home like 10, 60-pound salmon,
Yes.
and that would last you forever. And then I also did deep sea fishing for halibut and
Right.
cod off the coast. So our freezer and our fridge were set for years
yeah.
and years and years
Yeah.
with fish. And then I did a little bit of deer hunting growing up. I haven't done it in a long, long time, but I've been telling my wife like I want to
Want to get going?
I want to get back into hunting, man. Like I really would like to. I just don't trust like the farms and stuff and the
Right.
meat and like
Right.
even the really good ones and stuff. Like I'll be okay like getting some stuff, but man, getting a deer and elk,
Oh, it's
getting
pretty awesome.
venison
Yeah.
and like all that good lean meat, man, that's some good stuff right there.
Yeah, I haven't hunted for a long time. I did do a stint. I was fly fish guide up in Alaska for a season, and
cool.
that was a blast.
Who was your outfitter?
Icy Bay was where we went, and
Where was that out of?
out of it's between Yakutat and Cordova.
Very cool.
So it was cool. I enjoyed. I mean, it was wonderful. We had, I think there was 10 to 12 clients. It was just us, the river that they have up there, and boy, it was quite an experience. It was a blast, really, and such good dudes. Because pretty much everybody that goes to places like that, at least with this outfit, know how to fish.
Yeah.
So all we
Hey,
do,
you're not going to Alaska if you.
yeah, they pretty much all know how to fish. Yeah, you had a few family members that maybe didn't know how to fish that well, but
Sure.
easy enough. And once you get them started, but especially early in the season, locating those fish was my job. So
Yeah.
that was a good job to have.
Yeah, I had a buddy in high school who was our. I played basketball in high school, and he was our best player by far. He set like a He was so good. He got a scholarship to Pacific University in Forest
nice.
Grove, Oregon, And but he set our conference. He obliterated the conference record for blocks in a season in a game. Like I think one game he had like 35 blocks. He was just like this lanky 6'5" dude. But him and his dad and their whole family were super cool. They hunted all the time. They fished all the time. So I think 3 straight summers during high school, he went up to Alaska and was like just like kind of like a grunt worker for a guiding cert, like for camps, for fishing and hunting camps out in like I think it was like the Kodiak Peninsula, somewhere just way out on an island, out in the middle of nowhere, where his job was like make sure that the bears don't come in and make sure the trashes are all secured and and like he was like hauling stuff to the cooks for each tent.
Oh,
and
that's
stuff
pretty
like that.
unique job.
Yeah. So and he would always send me pictures out in the middle of like some like tundra bluff somewhere out in the middle of nowhere in this island. He was like just scouting for the clients tomorrow, hanging out.
Right.
Just like,
That's
I was
pretty
like
cool.
glassing this hillside for him. I was like, that's awesome, dude. That's super cool. Yeah, but I've seen so many videos out of Alaska for fishing. And man, that's like, if for snowboarding it would be like Japan, Baldface, and Alaska for snowboarding, but Alaska for fly fishing is like way, way up there for me.
Right.
I want to get out there for sure.
Yeah. Snowboarding and fly fishing in Alaska is something else.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we were talking about the boats on the lakes and stuff. And I said, I was saying that you're speaking Josh's language. Josh, you still got the family boat?
Yeah, the fan boat is still going strong, I think. We just don't get out on it like we used to.
Yeah.
It's not we don't have it docked anymore. We have it, you got to pull it in, pull it out.
Okay.
It's like
A little bit more effort.
a little more effort, a little less incentive to go with the crowds. And yeah.
Josh is one of my fondest memories was a handful of years ago. Josh took me out really early with his brother on the family boat, and we did some wakeboarding and wake skating out there on the north end of Ponderay. Basically like the west side of the bridge out towards Dover, right?
Yeah, on the river.
That's where we kind of,
For sure.
But yeah, Josh is such a good wakeboarder and wake skater.
Nah, I'm okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, I couldn't even get up, dude. Yeah, so I hadn't been wakeboarding since I was probably 12 or 13, and he took me out, and I was like, all right, let's just let the pro hit it. He pops right up. Not even on the wakeboard, but on the wake skate, which is no bindings.
Right.
Yeah. And he's just got skate shoes on. And he's just doing shove-its and backside ones.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty sick. Yeah, it's a good time out there.
That's so funny. I think of that when you say skate shoes and you're out on the lake, right?
Yeah.
On a skate. But the first year we did the Dougie Fresh, that snow skate crew came in, and I mean, we had a lot of snow and pretty harsh conditions, and they're all wearing skate shoes. Not all of them, but a lot of them were wearing skate shoes in the mountains,
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
That's for sure.
They had a blast. They were dedicated, let me tell you.
Yeah. Those snow skate or the snow skate guys they'll get it out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember. I think that was the first time I ever met Josh. Was I was walking up for like an early season training for the ski school up at Schweitzer. Like that's probably going on 8-9 years ago. I was walking into Schweitzer, just kind of checking everything out, and then I walked to the back porch, and in the mill building, and I see this homie on the flats out on his little snow skate.
Yep.
And I introduce myself, and then I go inside, and Matt Smart, he's like, have you met Nishimoto yet? And I was like, is that the guy out back? He's like, yeah, you need to know that guy. He's like, you like freestyle snowboarding, right? And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
He's like, that's our guy. That's the guy that does it. So yeah. Now we're old heads. Now we're super old.
Right, yeah.
I feel like.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I get it. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, we were talking about like the fly fishing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've been telling you for months now that we're going to go out in the boat. So next spring, man, it's going to be a whole new landscape up there with how everything got
I'm sure
torn up a couple weeks ago. Yeah. So the hole that you may have gotten fish out of now. They
Might be
they're gonna be
different.
somewhere else now, so that'll be kind of fun. We'll go explore up there in the spring. That's gonna be a good time.
That'll be a blast.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I'd like to get you, like I've said, you and Ren get out there. We'll get out there on the boat and do it.
Heck yeah.
For sure. That'll be a good time. Nice. So, getting into more of the snowboard side of things, you said you've been all over the region up here, all the resorts up here. What was the point where you kind of settled in at Schweitzer?
25 years ago.
Okay.
So
Looks a lot different now.
Or right around there.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been going to Schweitzer since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And I you'd leave, and all 5 of our mountains have something wonderful about them.
For sure.
But as a little kid, and even still today, you go to Schweitzer, and it's just a different deal.
Yeah.
And mainly because of the terrain.
Yeah.
It has that's what draws us back, or always there when you have an option, right? Is their terrain, and of course we've been spoiled our whole lives. Nobody's been here. Mm-hmm. We've had all 5 of these mountains, or really anywhere we want to go in the Northwest, to ourselves.
Yeah.
And so all that's changed.
Yeah.
All that's changed. So I just feel so blessed and so fortunate to have grown up here and been able to use these places as our own little paradise for so long.
Yeah.
For so long. So obviously change is going to happen at some point. And for me, fortunately, it was, it's been towards the end of my youth.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been up there a long time. Like I said, started skiing on Mount Spokane 49, came over here, got the kids going, and then basically that first couple years of snowboarding, hit every mountain, just kind of feeling it out, checking it out on a snowboard, and then landed at Schweitz and have been there for many years.
Yeah. It's hard to beat. It really is.
It is. And like I said, I still go to every mountain every year. I haven't really missed, every once in a while, if it's a crummy year, you'll miss a mountain, but I'm still up at Lookout. Silver Mountain obviously has been huge for us. And it's everybody manages things different.
Yeah.
Right? And you realize they're competitive with one another, and but the vibes are little. You got 49, which still feels like you're at Ma Pa Mountain. It's old school, old lodge, which I love. And a Lookout, Silver, Mount Spokane, 49, Schweitz all have something to give to kids in this area. Their parks, that was another thing that came up, where they put so much into their park, and that draws kids, especially those younger guys.
Oh, for sure.
And that became big and a part of the scene. But I just, so getting back to how things are managed and owned and everything else, and that's where Silver Mountain came in to our club and our group.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. Yeah. And you speaking on that, like how, it's become busier, so to speak, in my opinion, me coming from the West Side, from Portland, I saw the evolution of Hood as I was up there.
Oh, I bet.
And how, you had to get up earlier and earlier and earlier.
Yeah.
Then you're getting up at 4 a.m. to get there by 6 or so,
Mm-hmm.
just so that you don't get stuck
Right.
in rhododendron and don't even talk about meadows to me. I never went to meadows. I was always going to timberline and stuff.
Right.
Like that was a whole scene and stuff.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
And now since I've left, I just see how crazy it's just gotten even crazier.
Yeah.
But that being like a major mountain next to a large metropolis, just like like Crystal and Stevens is and Snoqualmie. But out here, you got to drive a long, long way to get to our region out here, or you fly into Spokane and then you still,
Right.
unless you're going to Mount Spokane, you're gonna be driving for a couple hours to get
Right.
out to any of these resorts. So it still is, in my opinion, chill. You may run into that initial line at Schweitzer, right? Down at the in the village. People are either getting on the basin, they're either going to the Great Escape, the lines may converge. But then, in my opinion, the rest of the day, unless you're trying to get back to the front side at lunchtime, you can be by yourself all day if you know where you want to go.
Well,
and just
that's
know
just-
where to avoid.
Right, and that's just it. That's what I was when I told you we were so spoiled.
Yeah.
For so many years, for me, 50 years.
Yeah.
And now, so we dig our heel, or we get this or that or the other. You can't park. You got to leave early. You have to start doing some of these things. But for the most part, you're right.
Yeah.
We still have it pretty darn good.
Yeah. We call it the, what would you call it? Like the death zone time. Basically,
Yeah.
Christmas to, I think, MLK.
Yeah, I think Schweitzer called it Hell Week.
Yeah, Hell Week. You got
And
that
it's
2
been
to
like-
3 week period that's just
Yeah.
like, all right, well, I guess we're not going to be getting much done today out here. I get down to the Red Barn and it's just like, holy moly, dude.
And it's been like that for quite a while. The Christmas break that week,
Yeah.
a couple weeks, around Christmas, New Year's, it's been like that for a long time. But it was
Sure.
basically a 2-week span. That was basically it.
Yeah.
Where you had a lot of people came in, but
Well, that's where like you were talking about, like Silver, like the relationship that you have now with Silver and the Dougie Fresh and stuff.
Yeah.
These other resorts are going to start to thrive too because people move here,
Right.
they want a vacation here. Then they realize, okay, well, Schweitzer is going to be busy,
right.
and okay, what's
Slightly more
plan?
expensive.
Yeah, and what's Plan B? And we go, that's when all those other resorts
Yeah.
are going to thrive even more. Like Lookout. I feel like Lookout's kind of getting to that point where it's getting fairly busy especially on a powder day.
Yeah.
People are going to be
is.
getting up there.
It
So,
is. Opening week, Jerry was up there opening weekend, and it slammed.
Yeah,
It's slammed, and with between Silver and Schweitz, you got accommodations, you got
Sure.
the water park, you got condos, it's a different village setup, but you have both of those have that capability, and then the other three are basically day right. There's no accommodations, at least up on the mountain. I guess you got Chewelah, Colville, or you stay in Spokane, or
Yeah.
stay in Wallace or Mullen for Lookout, so not far, but, and those towns have picked the pace up as well.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I love that whole area. Like I said, I guide up there in the summers,
Right.
And the winters are super fun up there too. Like Wallace, aka Dante's Peak. For those of you who don't know, go check out Dante's Peak. You'll see what I mean. But
dude.
yeah, it's super fun up there, and getting involved more with the ski shack and talking with like you and Ren and stuff. And I just want to be up at Silver more, especially when the boys are up there and
Yeah.
you guys are out. I've really only ever gone to Silver for the Dougie Fresh, and
Right.
I'd like to get up there for a powder day.
It's
maybe
a
tag along
good-
with Ren and
Yeah, it's a good
do
place
his
to
program.
It's a good place to ride. And again, it's still you get up there on the right day early, and
Yeah.
you've got it to yourself for a while.
Yeah.
And just knowing the guys up there from management, all of Terry, Gus, Terry, and all their everything that goes on up there as far as leadership wise has just been incredible for us. And they were new, they came on when we were already there. So we had to, basically prove to them what we were about, who
Yeah.
we were, and what we did. And once we were able to do that, then it's been a partnership. Just been an incredible partnership.
It really is. It's amazing to see how everything has evolved and
Yeah.
what you guys have been able to accomplish.
Guys, Let's Talk Snowboarding is presented by Mountain Vibes. And Mountain Vibes was started in February 2016 by our CEO and founder, Justin Desmond. With the input of close friends, Mountain Vibes officially went live November 1st of 2017, and Justin runs it with the help of Mountain Vibes co-owner Emily Sorger and our core team. When Justin created Mountain Vibes, his objective was not only to create a snowboarding company, but also a family where passion and the love of snowboarding outweighed years of experience and where judgment is not tolerated. We don't like the cool guys at Mountain Vibes. Everyone should be included in Mountain Vibes. Passion of snowboarding is what brings us all together and makes us a family. Along with creating a snowboarding family, Quality Snowboarding Apparel, we are a nonprofit with an outreach program called Good Vibes and High Fives, where we take less fortunate kids out to snowboard. And I want you to check out our website, mountainvibes.com with a Z, and see what we're all about. We have everything from the charity to the apparel, and we're stoked that Mountain Vibes has presented Let's Talk Snowboarding over these last, 2 years. So thank you to Mountain Vibes.
You know, you and I have talked quite a bit, but we never really kind of talked about how the full story,
How we got here?
how
Yeah.
we've gotten to where you are and all that and
Right.
everything. So
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I never knew that you were up in Alaska for a minute, so that was cool.
Yeah, I in the last 3 years, I was up there fishing for a season, and then of course at Valdez riding my snowboard
Yeah.
last spring. So
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
yeah,
That experience.
yeah.
All right, cool. So, Brad and I were kind of talking about getting into a little bit of Dougie Fresh, which we're going to get more into. But, leading into that, the Dougie Fresh is the big thing behind Dougie Fresh is Ski Shack and the Ski Shack team.
Yes.
We've talked about this before a little bit, but talk about what Ski Shack, I know what Ski Shack means to me. I love my local snowboard shop, and that was the first week I was here, I went in and I was like, okay,
Here
this
it
is my place. Yeah. And I feel like you kind of had that similar experience, and it's just like when you walk in there, they treat you like family, and
Yes.
you get in with them and, support and, talk to them and meet everybody and create relationships. Like, yeah, it is a big family. So when was the first time you stepped in the doors of the Ski Shack?
Well, the very first time I stepped in the doors of the Ski Shack was I think we were on our way to Schweitzer, so it was a big day.
Yeah.
We didn't go to Schweitzer a lot back then. This was in the 80s.
Okay.
Okay. And I needed a jacket. And when I got in there, they had the coolest K2 gaiters. Because back then, I mean, if you could wear your Levi's with the gaiters that went above your knee and
Nice.
the jacket and the sunglasses, didn't wear goggles a ton back then, it doesn't seem like.
Okay.
Sweet.
So you got the picture with a little neon pink and blue and green, right? So I bought a jacket, and I don't know if Jerry still has that or not.
I gotta ask you, do you have pictures at home of you
We do.
in that
We've
kind
got
of
pictures.
outfit?
Yeah,
Okay, you need
yeah.
to. All right, you send me some of those.
Yes.
In the coming weeks, and we're gonna put them
So-
right here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have them personally. I'll have to dig in a box somewhere.
Okay.
And Jerry might. So this Christmas, I'll bring it up to Jerry and Alicia, and over at their mom's place, I'll bet you they can find some doozies with all that stuff. But that's the first time I went in, and basically an in and out.
Yeah.
I went in, I got that jacket and those gaiters, and off we went, and then I'd go in there for a few things here and there, gear wise. I still kind of bought skis, and I don't know if even Carolyn had. I don't know where she was then, but it seems like we were still buying hard equipment, skis and bindings and boots over in Spokane.
Okay.
But all the soft gear, all the clothes and gloves and everything that she had at the time. And it wasn't till the first snowboard that I bought when I went in and really got to know the guys. I bought that first full season that I snowboarded. I went to the ski swap. I bought a K2 double wide with Nike, brand new, 165 double wide with Nike bindings on it.
Oh, cool. That's sweet.
And that's what I learned. I mean, basically, that was my snowboard.
Nice.
And the cool thing about that board was, like, because I'd go anywhere that had snow. Lookout had snow, Silver had snow, Schweitz had snow, new snow, then I would leave and go. And the cool thing about that board was when you got into that new snow, and I'm by myself. I rode by myself thousands of hours.
Yeah.
But that big old board that I had, it would float on that pretty good. So I got pretty decent at riding powder pretty quick,
Okay.
But anyway, I went in. I thought, okay, I got to upgrade. I can do this, and that's when I met, or I had met them before a little bit, but I got to know Lyle and Doug, and Julie. They were the three. She's managing the front. They're managing the back, and they got me turned on to Burton gear at the time, which I still ride.
Okay.
I through the years, demo days, I've rode. I'd go to demo days every year for years.
Yeah.
And so I rode so many different manufacturers and so many different, different brands, different styles, different shapes.
Yeah.
When they really started shaping boards, because, from what I knew back in the early days, it was just a full camber. And that's it. That's all you got. So that's what I still pretty much ride.
Yeah.
But I tried all those shapes, know. And I know they're good for some guys and for some conditions, but for me, pretty much a full camber is what I still ride. But getting in there, and I was going to these demo days with these guys, and so just became a part of the ski shack. And a lot of the work that I would do with them in the early days was to the ski swaps.
Okay.
And so we'd rent a rider moving truck, a 26-footer, and chuck everything in there, every ski, boot, binding, coat, everything you could imagine, and haul it from ski swap to ski swap.
That's awesome.
And then I would go on these demo days with these guys and help them on their Labor Day sales and this and that and the other. And it just became a part of the family, And they started extending, growing and getting bigger. So we kept moving the shop farther back.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've been a part of 3 remodels.
Okay.
The barber shop was still in there, so that had to get redone. Anyway, so just a lot of work, lot of volunteer stuff, and just a blast.
That's funny you mentioned the barbershop. I remember the first couple of years I was up here, the barbershop was still there, and it was still going.
Yes.
And now it's something different. But and I remember you saying it used to be in the back. It was an apartment.
Yes.
At one time, which if you've ever been in the ski shack and you walk past Julie's office, that used to be the kitchen. Because there's still a sink in there and stuff, and all this funny stuff right next to the bathroom in the ski shack, and so you gotta go support the ski shack, man. Just a super cool local shop that has all the stuff you need, and in general, just go support your local shops, whether it be ski shack or if you're in Sandpoint, go support Rory at 7B.
You bet.
He does cool stuff. I think they've gotten a little bit bigger, but Spokane had Crest for the longest time. Now they're Solnick's. So they're a little bit bigger of a company, but Pistol, they've been cool. Just realized, went on that Santa cruise the other week through the resort, the Lake Coeur d'Alene cruises.
Yes.
And they go out to Santa's Island and stuff. So it's like an annual tradition. We take the kids.
Right.
And they cruise out there and stuff. But I was in the resort mall, and the Pistol shop gone. Something else now.
Closed.
Yep.
Oh, and the shop's right there.
Yeah, the skate shop
Pistol
right there.
and Coeur d'Alene's closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer. I hate to see that, but
Seems like the first time I ever went into that shop was in the Valley Mall. I
Yeah.
think
Oh,
I
yeah.
think they
Yeah,
they may
they were
have
there.
started there. I don't remember when they got here, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But talking a little bit more about Ski Shack. You mentioned Doug and Julie and everybody in there, and never got to meet Doug, but know who he is. Know he's a
Right.
legend. Rest in peace, Doug.
Yeah.
But that's why we have the Dougie Fresh. That's why we have, and it's all for him. And it all started out for his family when he passed away. But let's talk about Dougie Fresh, man. Just such a cool event. An OG bank slalom before they kind of took off, and there's been a craze in the last 5 years. Everyone seems to have a bank slalom, but Dougie Fresh has been around. Just had the 10th anniversary last March.
Yep.
You're heading that up. You're running around. You're doing all the things. It's a year-round process to make sure everything goes smoothly. What's it been like for you, kind of taking the head on Dougie Fresh and getting that event done every single spring for us up at Silver?
Well, it's just been a godsend. I mean, it's been awesome. Evan started it out. Evan at the Ski Shack. Basically, it's his little brainchild, right? And we were like, and he's skier. He snowboards a little bit, but he's a darn good skier. Him and his brother Robert are a blast to ride with. Let me tell you. And I just a side note, I'd go on ski Idaho trips, so we'd film all around Idaho with Peak Media.
Nice.
And I did that with Evan and Robert. But it seems like locally, Robert and I just kind of always buddied up, and that's when I really got to know Terry as well, who's the park manager up at Silver, who has been for years and years. So I really got in tight with that group through this Peak Media traveling around and filming, which was a blast. I got to ride so many resorts in Idaho. But that all came through the Ski Shack, really. And Evan started it. We all hand dug it over in the gully off of Chair 3. And it moved over and it ran its course kind of for Evan. It just ran its course for him. He got work. He's working out at Tobler's, and just, it became a time thing. And sure as heck, it stayed with us. Also, management changed at Silver Mountain, so we had a pretty big transition. But our core group remained the same.
Yeah.
And that's really what kept it together. And then once we got built a relationship with the new owner and the new leadership at Silver Mountain, then it's just taken off to what it is now.
Yeah.
And I couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah. Yeah. And, we'll talk about it a little bit, but, we really dive into it. We got the Dougie Fresh special edition episode, handful of episodes ago, where we talk with Brad and Ren for almost an hour and a half, all about Dougie Fresh and what it meant, what it means to this area, and everything that Ren and Brad have done for that event, and what the Ski Shack means. So yeah, that's been very, very cool.
And then the big transition is our donations. That when we started it, the proceeds of our event went to Doug's kids. He has 4 kids who still are there every Saturday. The Dougie Fresh is there. Had four of them, 2 boys and 2 girls.
Yeah.
And their mom comes up and her husband, and it's just been, so that family aspect has remained, which is important.
Yeah.
Jalen, the oldest boy, is still a part of our team. So he still helps out. He's been in Boise for a long time, but he's a part of it.
I parked right next to him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, this last March, and they were ready to go, man.
Yes.
They were like, they had their setup. Their vibes were like insanely high. They were all getting their boots on and getting their Coors Lights in and stuff like that, ready to have some fun.
Oh yeah, dude, it is, and so our core team, who has been working on it from the beginning. So we had a lot of practice.
Yeah.
A lot of practice, and I can't say enough about our ski shack team. There's 12, 13 of us that, and I think Chris and Ren and I are originals from when we got to the new format, and that Josh and I were talking a little bit about earlier. But anyway, our team puts in so much time and effort, and we've done it for so long that it's pretty amazing to watch.
It really is, yeah. And by the time this episode comes out, we will have out on YouTube the Dougie Fresh video
Oh, good.
that we had at the 50th anniversary party.
Awesome.
For Ski Shack. So that'll be out on YouTube.
Cool.
And shout out to everyone who came out to that 50th anniversary party.
Oh, that was a good party.
Capone's on the green.
Yes.
Yeah, that got rowdy in moments, man. I had no clue that many people would show.
Yeah, so I think the guys told me there was around 300 people when it was all said and done.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out.
Yeah. It makes sense, man. Yeah, that thing got crowded inside for sure.
I was happy, and Carolyn had a good time, and it was so good to see her, and so it worked out. It worked out great.
Yeah, it was really cool. We just recently did an episode with Kaya Alderman, who was your fastest girl last March.
Yes,
And she has a really cool story of how she was like almost in tears because of what you said to her when you came up to her and congratulated her on her win and all this stuff. And she was like, I have a story about Brad. He almost made me cry because I was so stoked. So Kaya, we'll have Kaya's episode will be out by the time this one comes out, a couple weeks before.
I didn't know that. I can't wait to see it. So that young lady,
she's sick.
So
she's so cool.
So we were chatting, and both of us, and I started tearing up, and I looked behind me because I had the timing crew, and there was a crew of us down there at the bottom of my team, of our ski shack team, and I turned around and they all looked just like me, so I didn't feel so bad.
Yeah.
We were all in the same boat. It was that emotional, and it was beautiful. It couldn't have been any cooler.
It was so cool. And, for those that don't know, Dougie Fresh is an automatic qualifier for the top people to get into Dirksen Derby.
Right.
And I just feel, Mother Nature, you can't help it. But this season, they had to cancel the Dirksen down at Bachelor.
Sad.
So, you just shout out to Josh Dirksen for him putting that on and everything that he does to try and make it happen. But the fact that you don't have any snow, you just can't do anything about it. So she's looking forward to next year, and hopefully fingers crossed, snow.
Yes.
That early in the season for Oregon. So
and that was another beautiful thing about our ski shack team is Josh Smith, one of our members, and been around here. I mean, he's a top dog, right?
Yeah.
But he had that tie and that friendship and got us down there to the Dirksen.
Right.
And what a beautiful relationship that's turned out to be.
Yeah. You ever
So-
been down to Bachelor? You ever ridden?
Yeah, so I
Okay.
go down to Bachelor every other year on
Nice.
for demos. So they were
Okay.
in Wenatchee at
Mission Ridge.
Mission Ridge.
Yep.
And then they'd alternate. And I don't know if they
Nice.
still alternate. I don't know if they still do that. I think they may just do Mission Ridge now. But yeah, I'd alternate every year and go
That's
to those.
fun.
That was a blast.
That was that was the treat from my parents. Every snowboard season, we grew up in Southwest Oregon, so we
Right.
were a Mount Ashland, Mount Shasta family
Oh.
because they just always had such good deals for
Right.
night skiing
Right.
and stuff. But we always treated ourselves to like a long weekend up at Bachelor, up in Bend. So I've
place.
ridden Bachelor so many times. That's some of my favorite terrain up there. Some people don't like it because they say it's flat and stuff like that. But I love the amount
I
of
had a
transitions
blast.
you can find.
Oh,
It's like a
yes.
big skate park almost. So there's so
We
many cool
always had
hits
so
and
much
stuff.
fun.
Yeah.
We'd always try to hit Hood. We would hit Meadows and Timberline.
Nice.
Hit Bend, then hit Crystal and Stevens and head home.
Ooh, that's a good trip.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's super fun.
Yep.
I'd like that. Man, I want to get out of some powder. I'm craving it right now.
I know. Everybody, it's every day we're talking about it now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yep.
Guys, I want to talk about a new sponsor for Let's Talk Snowboarding, which is the Ski Shack in Hayden, Idaho. Ski Shack is a local family-owned and operated ski and snowboard shop located in Hayden, Idaho. They specialize in sales, rental, and repair, and they opened in 1976. That's going on 50 years up here in North Idaho. They have been offering a skiing and snowboarding to North Idaho and beyond for that much time, which is crazy. One of the oldest ski shops in the entire state. We appreciate everyone at the ski shop for supporting Let's Talk Snowboarding. So go in there as soon as possible and get yourself dialed, whether it be getting a fresh tune-up for your board or skis or grabbing some new gear, because they got all the best in outerwear and also in boots and bindings, boards and skis. So head on over to Ski Shack, located at 9437 North Government Way in Hayden, Idaho, and have some fun picking out some cool stuff.
Well, I think tomorrow I'll be going to Schweitzer.
Yeah, I mean, you got to
We'll
go
see.
slide, right?
Yeah.
Just go slide.
I'm gonna take a look at Lookout when I get home today.
Yeah.
And maybe my boy Joshua Dahlstrom could hook me up if I make a little strike mission. Look out, if the snow's better. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, probably going to Schweitzer.
right.
Yeah, good times, man. But yeah, like we were talking about, Dougie Fresh, Ski Shack, got a big episode, that we did a handful of months ago. So a little bit more in-depth conversation on the Dougie Fresh and stuff, but it's really cool to hit that and just kind of give a shout out to them and on your episode, because that's just such a big thing that you do and donate your time. And it's so cool that you do that, and you don't ask for anything in return, like I said. So it's awesome.
Right. So, we talked about the Ski Shack team and how it all evolved and the relationship we have with Silver Mountain and who we donated to. One other big change to mention is where our donations go now, and that is to youth ski and snowboard clubs, local youth ski and snowboard clubs here. And we started out with Lake City, these high school clubs, and it has been incredible. So our team actually spends time coaching and instructing these kids on the mountain. So we're hands-on. We've put together a training format that we do for the beginner kids and the kids that finally know how to put their boots and snowboards on, or skis, whatever we have. It usually seems to be a little bit more snowboarding kids than kids wanting to learn how to ski. But we do have Chris that will get up there with the skiers, and then a handful of us that get up and work with the snowboarders. And that has been a big part, a big change, and a big new addition to our club.
Yeah.
It's been neat. So we've been able to support them financially and on the mountain.
Yeah. Yeah. And is that Chris? That's Treasurer Chris?
Yeah, Treasurer
Okay.
Chris. So Chris and Ren
my
and
wife's
I,
coworker, Chris.
Right, that's exactly right. Yeah, we found that out not too long ago.
I know, it's funny.
Yeah. So Spencer, Alicia, Jerry, myself got Matt and Mike up there last year, and of course Chris. And it brings out something with our team members as well that you don't see just on a, we're going, it's just something really special that comes out of them.
Yeah.
And I love seeing that. I've seen a lot of that over the years with our club on any event we do. We try to get up as about every 5 years, we try to take a team trip, just because of the amount of work that we do. And we've always gotten good deals. We used to do that at Big Red.
Nice.
Cats. So they'd comp our lodging. They'd give us industry rate on the cat. So, I mean, we could do it.
That's amazing.
And so that's what we try to do for the work that we put in. But yeah, that has been really cool for me to watch our people and how they interact with these kids. It's been really incredible.
Yeah, and it's something that really drew me to working with you guys is, being a part of the Mountain Vibes family.
Yeah.
When I first started out, it's a big, broad range. Like we used to do same events, man, taking out like disadvantaged and disenfranchised youth out to the mountains, teaching them how to snowboard, giving them free rentals,
Right.
Partnering with like really good, youth groups and stuff in like the Los Angeles area when they first started. And, that's what I loved about like being involved with like Ski Shack and the Dougie Fresh and the Ski Shack team is like, you guys do the same thing, but here locally,
Right.
within our community up here. And one thing I will say about like being part of that, helping out with that Ski Shack team, and getting to see you guys at the meetings and everything. And it's just so funny. Like I said, we went on that cruise, the Santa Claus cruise the other week. Guess who pops in right behind me? Chris. And my wife's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, dude?" And she's like, "Hey, you need to talk to this guy. You guys haven't talked." And I was like, he's like, "Oh, yeah." So we were just talking about snow and
Yes.
our kids and all that kind of stuff. And, of course, him and I both have like a beer in line waiting to get on, the ship.
Right.
And we're just like, all right, here we go. Here's another Santa Cruz. And then it was funny that like a couple days before that 50th anniversary party, I took my kids out to Michael D's, to go get breakfast over there on Lake Coeur d'Alene Drive.
Right.
And I'm texting with Caleb, right? I'm like, hey, posters and like all that, like, and just kind of chatting with him. And then all of a sudden, like, we're in a booth and we're about to get our food. And guess who taps me on the shoulder? And
It's
in the
Caleb?
booth. Yeah, he just tapped me. He's like, hey, dude. I was like, oh, I was about to text you back. He's like, yeah, let's talk right now.
That's
and then,
awesome.
it's so cool. And I feel like I always run into him somehow.
Right.
With his dad,
Right.
Working at North 40 at the fly shop and then guiding with Sage up there on the river, his brother. It seems like we're always crossing paths somehow. He doesn't live too far from me either. So,
Right.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
He's been a huge addition to our team. I hate, it's inevitable. I usually forget something, but from the beginning, Josh has built our medals and the clocks out of teak wood, and he's so artistic when it comes to that. So all the medals, all the Dougie Fresh medals and prizes in that realm come from him. All the sponsorship prizes, the snowboards and the bindings and everything come through Ren and all his relationships.
Yeah.
And when Caleb came on board with his work and being able to include Teton Brewing, it's just been incredible, and that inside relationship he has with Silver Mountain and others, but up there it's been huge for us. Capone's prime example.
Yeah.
And having that relationship with the food and beverage management, so everything gets dialed in.
Yeah.
Chris taking over. Chris has always been doing timing, and we were doing it with speaker cord, dude.
Yeah.
Originally, and it was hard. And everything was done with a pen and with a pencil.
Sure.
Right? And he's done that for years. Jerry and Alicia, as far as marshals and starting,
Yeah.
the finish line, Michael, who is a volunteer, Liz and Mark, and the registration part of everything.
Yeah.
And we've taken all that over. We used to kind of farm that out and hope for the best at times. But as we've evolved over the years, each team member has really gathering sponsors with Mike and Matt, and and still racing. They were still actively racing. So I just can't say enough about the Ski Shack team members that we have and the dedication that these guys put in year after year.
Yeah. It's really cool to see, and I just love being a part of it. Helping out with content, and I can't wait till March time and
Right.
be back up there and get another video made. That'd be awesome.
I am, I've been so busy doing things, this and that and the other, but I am chomping at the bit to get on the snow at this point.
Yeah, we all want some soul turns,
Yeah.
and then that'll lead into springtime, and we can get everything dialed for the bank slalom. That'll be awesome.
Oh yeah, we'll make it happen. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. But yeah, last year was just you couldn't really ask for a better day up there.
Not than that. Our day last year was about as epic as it gets.
Yeah, it was just insane.
You know, and another thing too with these young kids, hopefully this year, we've been working with them now. Hey, make sure your kids know that day has traditionally been like their last day of their club mountain day.
Sure,
right?
yeah.
So I think this year will be the first year that they'll be able to get up to our event, because the more young, the younger the better.
Yeah.
I mean, last year was prime example with the girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what Kaya said in her episode. She's just like, I always ask like a set of questions, like hot takes and stuff. And I was like, so what's been like your greatest experience snowboarding? She's like, Dougie Fresh last year. I was like, really? And she's like, oh yeah.
She's following the footsteps of the Hall girls.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's like especially like Maddie, she goes on lots of trips with Maddie.
Right.
And looks up to and why wouldn't you, man? Like those girls.
Maddie and Emma are awesome.
Yeah, they really are. And then they have a mutual friend that's been a Mountain Vibes like family team rider member. Her name's Kim Ewing.
Okay.
And she's a big bank slalomer. She's out of Western Washington, but she's talked to those girls for the longest time because she's like a little bit older than them, but she's like a top women's rider at every single one. She does Dirksen, she does Dougie Fresh, she does the Snow Ghost, she does the Bomber, she does the Mount Spokane, she does
out of Stevens.
Yep, she's a Stevens rider. Yeah. Kim Ewing. Shout out to Kim, dude. She's awesome.
Well. And this Northwest club up out of Schweitzer, I was the gal that I can't think of her name. Do you remember her name? That was their coach that came
Sarah
down.
Polemounter.
Sarah.
Yep. Sarah's sick.
She did. I was so impressed watching her.
She's a good coach.
Yeah, and she was moving. She was with those kids and the encouragement. Sarah, yes.
Yep. And then that whole crew was pretty dialed.
They were, and just a joy to be around.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah, and the guys have been there from the beginning. The 7B guys have been there.
For sure.
From the beginning. Over when we were in the gully and the kegs would freeze up, and it's like, well, I guess we're gonna quit.
Yeah, I'm sure Dash and Kicks and stuff.
They won it multiple times.
Oh yeah,
Pat.
Yep.
Holland. Yeah. I mean, it's just been.
And now it's been handed down to like, Zach Steffen is still a younger guy. But I just talked with him the other week, and I guess Zadek's going to be a little bit more. He's still, on the team and stuff, like competitively, but his role has been kind of enhanced on that Snowboard Northwest team, and he's going to do a little bit of coaching for the really, really young kids, is what I heard. So
good.
Josh can speak to that. Josh is a Snowboard Northwest coach.
Yeah, Zadek, happy to have him as a coach. He's a great rider and a really good friend.
Yeah,
great guy. Good. Yeah, I was. That's we've seen them come up on their own. With their folks or whatever over the years. So having that club up there, it was really good to have them.
Yeah, shout out,
and we need more of that.
Yeah. That's been one of the coolest things I've seen because one of my, I guess I would say Josh and I have a pretty heavy mentor up there, Marty Andrews, who is one of the founders, along with Pat Holland, and also, of course, Adam Hall. Yeah. Emma and Maddie's dad.
Yes.
Heavily involved in that Sandpoint scene. So
shout out to Snowboard Northwest.
I love it.
Yes, for sure. And that's what I'm hoping that these clubs here, basically you're starting as freshmen, so a little bit older, but I hope we can draw that age up there.
Yeah. And, when we're centrally located here in the Coeur d'Alene, Post Falls, Rathdrum area, when you get into a club like that, it's almost like you can kind of have like a choice of where you want to go, right? Like you get in the club, all right, where are we going to go? Silver. We go Lookout. We go Schweitzer. We go to Spokane 49. Whatever is good, we'll kind of make that happen over a weekend or something for a camp.
Oh, yeah. Well, and a lot of that is how the mountain is able to work with you.
Sure.
Right? I mean, whether you're using their instructors, whatever whatever they can comp. But I mean, literally just making room for the school buses is a challenge at times.
Yeah.
Right. Or how they're going to do it. But just from getting there to spending the day and getting home, it's that's where the mountain management comes in. On how that's going to work.
Yeah, running like a snowboard team or club or anything, that's a full-time job.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's a big responsibility, and some of these clubs are looking at 60 upwards to 90 kids.
Yeah.
Depending on what years, what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And as the population grows up here, like the interest is just going to get more and more.
Right.
Because if you're not outside sliding on a hill or getting out there doing whatever you want to do during the winter up here, you're not going to be having very much fun. Because you're going to be stuck inside.
You're not. You're all you're doing is waiting for the sun to shine.
Pretty much, yeah. And how long does that last? Not long.
Right. Although I did notice today we've gained a minute.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday was solstice.
Yes.
Yeah, my favorite holiday.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yep, summer solstice and winter solstice. Love them both.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, and that was one thing that I've been talking with like some of these young kids about. A lot of them are taking that time during the summer and taking the trip down to Hood.
Right.
And they kind of like center it all around summer solstice up there, which is like so cool for me to see because when I was down at Hood, solstice party was, the locals, right? The Govey Welch's area locals.
Yeah, right.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe 100 people at the most when I went up to the Illumination Rock and hung out on the longest day of the year.
Right.
But now seeing it, especially in the last 5 years, man, woof.
It's
That
growing
is
up.
a party,
I
and
bet.
that's so cool. Like I've talked to Emma about it. She's been there. Jack has been down there. Jack Hottinger, Kaya went down. And I'm like, when I was, as a snowboard instructor at Schweitzer, I would have school groups with these young kids. These big time riders like Zadok and Calvin and all these Owen Miller, like all these guys that are starting to blow up right now.
Right.
And, they were kind of just young Groms, right? And so me coming from Hood, I always would just chat them up on the hill between our rides. And I would always tell them, like, you guys ever been, down to Mount Hood? And they're like, huh? What? What's that? I'm like, you never thought about like seeing clips out of the summer at Mount Hood? Like it's been going on. It's a mecca. Like that's the mecca for summer snowboarding. Like you go down there, you can snowboard all the way until August, September. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, there's camps. You can pay money to go down to a week-long camp and do all this cool snowboard stuff and like have fun. Play, dodgeball down at camp at night, snowboard all day,
Right.
freestyle camp, like airbags, like everything you want. You want to progress, like they're like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden they start going.
Right.
One by one. And then they go in groups. And now they're all like doing the whole like just a group of them and like camping down at Trillium Lake at like a non-designated campsite and just living that like, hood bum life, for a week or whatever they do.
So fun.
Yeah, so cool. So yeah,
That's awesome.
This scene up here is just like, it warms my heart seeing like the young kids and the older people, like the old heads, embracing the kids and that bridge and stuff. And like the scene is just blowing up now up here in our region, which is so cool to see. Like the talent level is just skyrocketing and everyone's enthusiastic and it's a fun time for sure.
We've worked hard to get, it hasn't been easy to get young kids.
Yeah.
So these clubs and that information, I mean, I used to drop off flyers at the high school, but you never know how far if that worked or, I could never get any feedback really.
Yeah.
Maybe a little, but not much at all. And now that we're actually a part of it, we can really get our teeth into it and get, because they love it. The kids want to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. They want to do the events.
Yes.
They want to do the rail jams.
Yes.
They want to do the bank slaloms. And you bring a camera out there.
Yes.
They're going to get stoked on that even more. And
Right.
They're like, oh, you're getting clips. All right, sweet. Because they all want to like, grow their, personal brand and do these things and, make it, they all just want to shred and whatever avenue they go into, whether it be the free ride, the freestyle, the backcountry, whatever they want to do. It's always good to support them.
Oh, 100%.
And get them to where they want to get.
I think you'll see a big growth in 8 to 11-year-olds next year.
Yeah.
I really do.
That's going to be awesome. That's going to be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get back into you, man. I've been wanting to talk to you about this Alaska trip you took last season a little bit.
Oh, yes.
Up to the Valdez, back in Valdez, and an all-time heli trip. How'd that go for you? You and your son Jerry.
Yeah.
Got some good turns up there.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. It was such an incredible experience from start to finish. I've flown with gear like that before, but not for a long time. And so just making sure you're organized and ready to go and everything's in order and just had a blast. Went with a group of guys from Schweitzer, good friends, Eric and Howard and Jay, and these guys, some of them I knew but didn't really know, And so you spend a lot of time with these guys. And went up to Anchorage, stayed the night, and rode Alyeska as a little warm up, which is a good idea.
Yep.
And then drove to Valdez from Anchorage, up over Thompson Pass and down in. And that is an area. I mentioned Cordova earlier, which I had flown in to go fishing, but Cordova is on that end of it, and I get my directions a little mixed up, but Cordova's on one end of this range, and Valdez is on the other. So there's only about 2 outfits that can get into this particular area in the Chugach there. Mm-hmm. And what an epic area it is. It's I don't even know how to explain how cool it is.
Yeah.
Not only the whole experience of the guides and the service itself, but in the mountains and on the snow was something everybody should be able to experience at some point. Man, it was unreal. The only thing you have to realize is it's all weather permitted.
Yeah.
And so you go up there and you're waiting and you're on call basically. As soon as you get the call, you scram, you have everything ready. And we did that a couple times, mm-hmm. and it didn't pan out. But some of the days, the days that we did get to go were like nothing I've ever experienced before in my life.
Yeah. Did it snow while you were up there?
Oh yeah, it snowed a bunch. And,
nice.
But the other thing too is, if you've never been there, and learning where to stay and learning what to do on your downtime. We went into the glacier field and we hung out there, and that was all hiking.
Yeah.
We went out onto the bay and out on a boat and went in and had a barbecue, big fish fry. So there's other things to do aside from just sit around and wait, right? And knowing that and being prepared for that would make that next time even better.
Yeah. Valdez is crazy.
Have you seen the weather there?
Yeah, it's
for the last 2 months below zero and wind pretty much every day.
Yeah.
So it's been crazy.
Yeah, if you don't know, but Valdez is basically a harbor city.
Oh yeah. Yes.
So the ocean's right there, and a ton of fishermen, just
mm-hmm.
commercial all the way down to small boats to renting a boat, going out on your own, and it's just insane. Like you can just fish. You get in on like salmon season, you're getting on salmon right away.
Right.
And all this crazy stuff. And so, yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff out there on the ocean. And then, you get into town. The town's a cool spot.
Mm-hmm.
Got I've heard great food, great vibes in the town.
Oh, the vibe is awesome.
Just a cool town.
Everywhere you go.
Yeah. And then you're looking out into the inland, and it's just these massive mountains, man,
mm-hmm.
that go straight up, and they just are endless.
Yeah.
And you can see it from there, but the further you go into that range, you just got spines and amazing like runs. It's it's endless. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's quite the experience, and the other thing as far as days go, because these guys, I mean, you can tell somebody what your experience level is and what you think you are, but until the guides actually are out there on the snow with you, they're going to start at a certain level,
Sure.
and you're either going to stay there or you're going to keep progressing, and
You get put into a different group.
we progressed quickly,
Yeah.
and that made all the difference
Nice.
because now you're on runs that you've never rode in your life.
Yeah.
You've never rode anything like that in your life.
Well, it's just the weather makeup up there is like,
Yeah,
there's only one of one in the world,
right.
being up in Alaska, especially in that Valdez range, where it's
yeah.
like that coastal moisture, hits that freezing cold, and it just creates the most insane snow conditions.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. It's the most carvable. You understand now, when you see these videos, and you're just like, what in the world, But you understand it once you get on that snow, how maneuverable.
Mm-hmm.
It's just unreal.
Yeah.
Everything about it is good.
Yeah. And was that your first time? And you've been to Alaska before for fishing and stuff like that. Was that your first like POW trip?
Yes, to Alaska.
That's cool.
Yeah. Everything else is either all the other backcountry trips, whether it's been helicopter or cats, has been in Canada,
Which is great in its own right.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah. It's actually what a great training ground.
Yeah.
So having that experience to go up there was another huge asset for me, especially. Really helped out a lot. And then in Montana too.
Of course.
we did a team ride in Montana.
Was that the one?
Great Northern.
Whitefish, just
Yeah.
outside of Whitefish North.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was a wonderful time. Good outfit.
Had some homies go up to that outfit. That's pretty cool. They always rave about how cool it is up there.
Yeah. So Great Northern, Valhalla, and Big Red Cats were
There you go.
are the three that we, and since then, we were talking about them earlier, in Canada.
Josh, do you ever notice that when you buy tickets for a show, you get hit with all these hidden fees?
Yeah, for sure. I'm tired of being gouged with hidden fees.
Dude, I just discovered this, but now whenever I purchase tickets, I try to search for venues and artists that use Ticket Goat.
What's Ticket Goat?
Ticket Goat is the greatest ticketing software of all time. With Ticket Goat, promoters can expect hassle-free setup, zero obligations, and a revolutionary $1 ticketing fee for event attendees.
So we can say so long to hidden fees?
Dude, 100% zero hidden fees. With Ticket Goat, steep ticketing fees are a thing of the past. Ticket Goat's revolutionary ticketing software allows owners to create custom ticketing options, access to event reporting, and a digital QR codes for mobile ticket scanning, all with no commitments and transparent pricing.
Sick. That means event owners can keep their profits and ticket buyers can purchase tickets without being gouged.
Definitely. If you are in charge of ticket sales and want a fast and easy way to sell tickets, go to www.ticketgoat.com and join the herd today.
Big Red or
No, not Big Red.
Baldface?
Baldface. I think Baldface now is Valhalla.
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's, I mentioned Chad. He goes to Baldface every year.
Right.
Baldface proper. But I mentioned Valhalla to him, and he's like, yeah, that terrain's almost better than Baldface proper.
Right, right.
Doing that whole program is super fun too. So
Yes.
yeah, that's a good time.
Stay right in, Nelson.
man, just got me frothing right now, man.
I know it.
My wife always asks me, like, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want for Christmas? I'm like, don't get me anything. Just let's plan a couple years in advance. And can I go on a backcountry
Yep.
powder trip? That's all I want. And
Right.
or, take an extended weekend to go fish a new river or something like that over
Right,
in Montana
right.
or Wyoming. So
Somebody was asking me the other day. I said, "Well, you've done this Alaska thing on your snowboard. What if you had a bucket list thing, what would you do?" And that would be my next adventure, big one like that would be fly fishing in warm water.
oh, cool.
I wanna go stand in thigh deep water and catch fish.
Bonefish,
Yeah.
tarpons.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
You
what I
should,
wanna do.
I'll have to, when we go up in the spring, I'll introduce you to my boss up there, Richard.
Okay.
He's he in the summers, he's up, he's basically our lead guide.
Yes.
But he doesn't really guide all that much anymore. He runs a shop up
Right.
up in Kingston, and has a little place in Cataldo right there. But he spends his summers up there, run that. But then in the winters, he books it down to La Paz, Mexico, and has a ocean boat. And he has clients that come see him all winter long to go fishing, ocean fishing, fly fishing.
Really?
Out there, he gets on. You'll have to see the pictures he has on his phone. He's got tarpon. He's got all kinds
Out
of
of La
crazy.
Paz?
Oh yeah.
So I'm familiar with that. It was down in Cabo for years.
Okay. So,
So,
yeah, just northeast.
Yeah,
Yep.
we've driven there, not a ton, but a few times.
Yeah. Yeah. He says anybody that wants to come down and see him, he'll take him fishing. So
Oh, good
yeah.
to know.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to
Meet Rich down in La Paz,
yeah.
dude.
Richard's a cool guy, man. He's awesome. He's one of my favorite people, honestly.
Good.
But yeah, man, like you were saying, like that bucket list, man. I haven't really hit any of that. I want to go with like some good homies. Would Josh and I ever get some time off, it would be so sick to take a trip and go hit some powder.
Yeah.
Yeah, get some of that time off. But yeah, Alaska, Baldface, Japan.
Yes.
Those are my three.
Japan would be something special. I know that.
Yeah. And that's a whole nother vibe over there. And I have a buddy over there right now who he's a cat shaper, park shaper.
Yeah.
He worked at Timberline and Meadows for many, many years. Created a lot of like the parks that they still create today. His name's Caleb Hamilton, and he partnered up with High Cascade a handful of years ago, and brought High Cascade to Japan. And they bought this tiny little resort that was being sold, I believe, in the Niseko region, and basically he remodeled their lodge. He's a big woodworker too.
Yeah.
So he does all these crazy awesome carvings and like planks and all this cool stuff, and made it a whole thing. But now he's finally back over there. He took a lot of time off to kind of just like do commercial cat driving up in Alaska, up to the oil fields and bring supplies and stuff like that. But now he's back in Japan, shaping parks again and
Wow.
setting rails. And I messaged him.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Japan's having a shortage of snow.
They never do, man.
Dude, it's
Even when
something
they
else.
say
I
it's
was
like
looking at
bad,
it this weekend.
I'm like, it's still like, oh my God, it's like feet and feet and feet. And like, all right, I gotta get out there, man.
I know, it's like how do I get to Japan right now? Right?
You just gotta have you gotta like have like those like travel apps on your phone,
Right.
for cheap deals, and just check them
right.
like 3 times a day.
Yes.
Oh, $300 flight to Tokyo.
and be ready to go.
Let's go. Yeah, just
Yep.
be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have that, play in your schedule so you can just go when you want. But yeah, one of these days I'll be able to
Right.
do that. But
That would be fun.
the kids don't allow that right now.
Right.
Right now I'm
Right,
just
right.
in dad mode, and I get stoked to take them up. I'm
You know,
excited to
it's
take
funny
them
you
to
say
Schweitzer
that
soon.
because getting back to our ski shack team, that was a factor back in the day when a lot of the team members like, we can't really be on the team right now. We can help a little bit here because their kids were small,
Yeah.
right? Their kids were small, but once it seemed like once those kids got to a certain age, woof, they were involved heavy. But yeah, it takes time,
Yeah.
But it gets to a point where it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. All right, man. It's time. We're going to get into some hot takes. So I'm going to need water because we're going to crack a salt. This is the last salt in this lineup right now. So
Right?
Brad and I need to share one. So I'll crack it and I'll take the first
hit.
brunt of it. Yeah. Sweet. Cool. So yeah, hot takes. Always brought to you by Ski Shack. Go into Ski Shack right now because the snow is falling, and get your boards all set up and waxed, and go grab some outerwear, some beanies. Just go get what you got to get ready for the majority of the snow that's going to be hitting us, according to the weather outlook. Looks like it's coming. So
By
get in
all
the Ski
means.
Shack up on Hayden. All right.
Ay, ay, ay.
Spicy.
Caliente.
Very nice. All right. Shout out to the bomb hole and run through while smelling salts. We love you. Just ordered 100 new salts, so they should be here anytime. But that's the last one in the brick. So brick's going away, and we're getting a bucket. Basically
Big old bucket.
this, but like that big. Sweet. Nice. All right, Brad. Hot takes. 3 favorite riders of all time.
Tom Burt has to be one of those starting off.
Okay.
Mark McMorris, I've always,
I like that answer.
I really like that kid. Yeah. Yeah. And then, Travis Rice, hello.
There you go.
Somebody cool, but number one's Northwester.
Yeah. Those are good answers right there. I like those answers. I mean, Travis and Mark could be, the GOATs of all time, the greatest of all time. And, of course you got Sean, but in my opinion, I would say Travis and Marky.
Right.
Sparky Sparks. I love Spark. 3 favorite riders, but who's got your best style out there? Just a drippy style.
Best style for me is going to be old school too. And I'm trying to think of this kid's name. He was killed in the avalanche.
Oh, recently?
No, years ago. Burton's first rider, basically.
Oh, Craig Kelly?
Craig Kelly. That was probably the coolest style.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, and he rode regular.
Yeah.
So when I first saw him, it was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of Baldface, that's one
Right.
of the reasons why you
A
want to go.
memorial up there, right?
The cross sword.
Yeah.
The Craig Kelly cross sword. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was one of the founders. A lot of people don't know that Craig Kelly founded it with Jeff Pinciero up there.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah. I've watched a lot of Baldface specials.
Right.
All right. What's your board setup right now? What's the board? And what's the bindings and the boots, and what kind of angles you looking at on binding? Well, we went over the angles.
Yeah,
right
the
now.
angles, I'm 16.6
16.6
pretty much is my angles. My width is right around 23.
Okay.
Right there. I'm riding I've got a little bit more rocker on the nose.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of a hybrid, but that contact point is just in front of my front foot. Same in the back, so almost a full camber.
Okay.
It just gives me a little bit more rocker, So
What's the board?
yeah, I've got. I mean, my go-to is the Custom X. That's what I've been riding for forever. And when it comes to the different shape, it can be any one of a Burton board that has that shape.
Okay.
I don't have one specific, but my go-to snowboard for the last 25 years has been a Custom X.
Okay. Bindings?
Bindings are stiff. They've changed over the years, but I've stayed with a fairly stiff binding, and I've been from a Mission binding all the way to their top or boot. and all the way to the top as far as just a stiff boot and a stiff binding.
Okay.
So I don't have one particular. Like right now, I've got 25 boards sitting up there, and I'll just pull out.
That's sick.
Over the years, right?
Yeah.
And
You don't get rid of them.
no, well, and that doesn't mention count the ones that I have given away,
Okay.
and the things that I've given away. But so it just kind of depends on the day
Sure.
and what I got going. But pretty much the shape, they're all directional. I don't ride twins, so I'm pretty much a full camber directional, little bit more stiff gear than flex.
Nice.
Yeah.
And would you say, as far as brand goes, for your bindings, what's like your favorite pair of bindings that you got that you run? You kind of go to them.
Oh, they're all mounted,
Okay.
So I really,
They just stick to the board that they're on.
yep,
Okay.
I do. I don't move them.
Okay. How many? Well, all right. You got lots of boards and bindings.
Yes.
You got lots of boots, or are you rocking one pair of boots right now?
No, the
favorite?
Ion. I've been riding the Ions for years, and I've got multiple pairs of them. So this is kind of what I found out with all my gear and a lot of different things that I do. So I go for it early on, and I get as much as I can, and then I rotate everything.
Nice.
So I think I've got 3 pairs of Ions, and then if I'm split boarding, I got a pair of DCs with the BOA.
Okay.
The others are quick lace, but my backcountry are BOAs.
Okay. Cool. Do you have a split board right now?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. You get out much?
I have not been out. I didn't go out last year. I think the year before, or it may have been 2 years ago. Romanos was the last good split boarding trip I've been on.
Okay. Very nice.
That was local and fun.
Yeah.
Right.
I have to get out here soon.
Yeah.
I want to get out on my split more this season.
Right.
That'd be fun. Sweet. What's been like your greatest experience snowboarding?
There's been a lot of them.
Okay. And it doesn't have to be like riding. It could be like events and anything like that.
Right. I think the greatest experience really in snowboarding has been the people.
Okay.
I mean, I have met so many people in the mountain, a lot of times that you don't see until you get up in the mountains.
Yeah.
At one place or another, and it's like you've never missed a beat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like summer, spring, and fall was never even here.
Right.
And that's at multiple mountains for me, and even going into Canada and different states, people that I've met over the years, it's just been incredible. And I whether they're skiing or snowboarding, that's never been a part of our equation. It's just been being together in the mountains on the snow.
It's so true. That's what has always drawn me to snowboarding is the community.
It's just been an unreal. It's just something so special.
Yeah. And that's why I was searching for that summer, same type of vibe, right?
Right.
Where it could have a community. And that's why I really got into fly fishing, because it's like you say, you don't miss a beat. Like you get into wintertime, your snowboard homies right back to what we were doing. And then as soon as like we transition back over to summer, all my fly fishing buddies are like, all right, hey, let's go fishing.
Yeah.
Time for you to get on the
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah, it's fun, man. I love it. Okay, so you've done some cool trips, some cool backcountry trips, but you got to pick one. Bucket list backcountry trip, all time, conditions, where you're going to go, and who are the 3 people you would take with you?
Oh, I'm going right back to Valdez.
Nice.
I'm going right back there. And the 3 people, I would love to take my son, Jerry. He's a no-brainer.
Yep.
But I'd love to take my daughter. I'd love to throw her into the mix.
Nice.
For sure. And her husband, my son-in-law, Mike. I think that would be the 3 that I would love to ride with.
Love it. Brad, what's currently the worst trend in snowboarding?
The worst trend?
Yeah, it could be attitude, fashion,
Jeez.
tons of spins and competitions.
I saw that this weekend where some of those, 12s are like mini now.
Oh, are you talking about at the
It
was it the Grand Prix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was something else, man.
You know, something if you want to watch a ode to old school snowboarding, check out, get on YouTube and search the Rockstar Open.
Okay.
Okay, so they did an event over the weekend called the Rockstar Open, and it was just a really evolutionary slope style course, but not your traditional where it's like rails and then 3 jumps and stuff like that.
Right.
It was all mixed in together with hips
Oh,
and like
cool.
big cannons and like tiny little down flat downs.
Nice.
And one thing that was cool, like safety is always big for me, but I feel like it's your choice. Helmets were not required. So the Steez was back to like the mid 90s.
Oh, dude.
And my boy, one of my favorites, Dusty Henriksen, took home the top spot and without a helmet on. And he just was drippy with it, looking like a early to mid 90s snowboarder out there. It was super cool.
You know, speaking about trends, I suppose I could come up with a good one for me anyway, and that is I'm not really into these Japan dominating some of these events. I don't like that trend.
Yeah.
I'd like to get some Northwest, some West, some. I'm good with BC and the Northwest, or some or U.S. guys.
Yeah. You can't deny the fact that the Japanese have the craziest program as far as half pipe goes in the world, and the men and women. It's just like
it's unreal.
They're regimented, like they can spin, and they all got good style, like Ayumu and Takeru, and like all those guys are just super good. But yeah, they're dominating.
They're dominating.
They make the U.S. team
there's
look
nobody
silly
else
right
on the
now.
podium.
Yeah, and so I got my boy Lucas Foster on the U.S. half pipe team right now, who's been on the podcast many times, part of the Mountain Vibes community, but just a sick rider out of Telluride, and he lays down sick runs, but he can't technically like spin as much as these Japanese guys, but he has a double alley-oop McTwist, like all these cool tricks like Danny Davis used to have, and so I wish that the judges that it would start to skew a little bit more to like style instead of spin. You know what I mean? Like we all know they can spin. Like everyone can spin a ton.
Right.
But like when is enough? Like 2160s and like all these like how it's just like
unreal.
a helicopter out there, and I'm just like, it just doesn't look great to me, like I'm a big like video part guy, and so I love a nice clean, back one, switch back 5, like even like all the way up to like a 1080 off like a backcountry, jump or something looks cool. But you get up to these like 1620s and above,
something else.
it's just like, I'm just like, oh.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to count, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But I like that answer.
Trend, yeah, if we could get back on the podium.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's do some quick hot take hitters for your local favorites, okay? You've been to all the resorts up here. Favorite groomer run?
Styles.
Okay. That's
When they
popular
groove
answer.
it. When they groove it.
When they groom it.
That's the steepest groomer run ever.
That's a fun one, man. I like that one too. That's a good one.
Yep.
Favorite powder zone? Vague description if you don't want any other people to hit it.
North Pole.
Cool. Favorite mountain restaurant food?
Pretty much any mountain in Canada that I can get some poutine.
Nice. Very cool. I like that.
Which is every one of them.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, favorite mountain bar locally? Go grab a beer after a long day of riding.
It's pretty much a toss-up. I go to both of them pretty much every day that I'm there, and that's Taps and Powder Hound.
Okay. Yes, Powder Hound.
Yes.
Taps is always fun.
I mean, Powder Hound is usually my go-to, but what I've been doing is going in, dry out, have a beer. Since I'm retired and I don't have to hurry anywhere, I'll go in, have a beer, whatever.
Grab a slice.
Not there.
Oh,
I'll
really?
go to Taps, just dry off, say hi, have a beer, and then I'll grab a slice at Powder Hound.
I like
on my
that
way
program.
out.
Yeah.
On my way to the rig.
The Dan Stefano program, if
Yeah.
I would say so. Shout out to Dan. Yeah, he always likes to, he's one of our supervisors. Well, used to be supervisor, but now just like a mentor at ski school. His name's Dan Stefano.
Yeah.
He's he's just an awesome dude, but it's always asking us on the way out of the locker room, taps, because he wants to get his, little glass of whiskey.
Yeah.
And then right after, I always see him at Powder Hound.
Yep.
That's that program.
That's it. I
But yeah,
love it.
Any one of those three, though, Taps, Powder Hound, and then of course I just love going into Poochie's for the vibe when it's not too crowded.
Yeah, so do I. But usually it's by the time I get there, it's just slammed.
It is.
I'll grab a beer maybe or if I do, and have one out.
You got to have like people there already.
Yes.
To where they have like a spot for you, right? Yeah.
That's how I roll.
Yeah.
Speaking of Powder Hound, Thor was up from, I think he's still living in Wisconsin, but out at Fish On, we do a Pray for Snow party out at Fish On, right?
Yeah.
And he was in town. So Powder Hound, when I started going there, was Thor's Pizza.
Yeah.
And Ben and his family, took it over. Ben worked for Thor for years, but anyway, I got to see Thor briefly. Him and his son Sven, he was a little kid when I saw him. Not a little kid anymore.
No.
And anyway, it was really cool to see Thor.
Yeah, love that, dude.
Shout out.
Yeah, man, he definitely needs a shout out.
Shout out to Ben and Jeannie too. Love them. they're the best.
Yes.
All right, man. Rapid fire. Pants or bibs?
Pants.
Nice. Goggles or glasses?
Goggles.
Okay, you rocking a helmet?
Yes.
Okay. Goggles are over or under the helmet?
Under.
Nice. Gloves or mittens?
Gloves.
Boa or laces?
Laces.
Power slush?
Power slush.
Pow
Oh.
or slushy?
Yeah, you kind of ran those two together.
Powder slush.
I was like, what?
My bad.
Yeah, pow all the way.
Nice. You rocking music when you're
No,
riding?
I tried early on.
Okay.
And I can't do it.
Okay. That's right. Natural sounds. Love that. Okay. Favorite video part / favorite snowboard movie?
How is it? Deeper? I think
Oh, cool.
I liked it.
I like that one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one, dude.
Yep.
Heck yeah. Very cool. All right, Brad. Well, thanks for coming down, man.
Oh, dude, I had a blast. Thank you.
Not too much of a drive from Rathdrum, so
No.
not too bad for you. All right, sweet. Anybody that you want to shout out or thank for, just you being able to be so heavily involved in our community and you getting to go snowboard all the time? Who's been like your inspirations, and who do you want to thank?
Well, basically, if I'm going to thank anyone, it's first of all my family. We've been in this journey together and still are.
Yeah.
But I have loved seeing them take it now with my grandkids, their kids, and just how they've progressed. And then just the shop, the ski shack, obviously, I can't say enough. The local mountains and the friends that I have made, and it's all about skiing and snowboarding. And it's just been an incredible journey in our local area. So blessed to be here and so fortunate.
That's great, man. All right. So I think we've been doing this a little bit more lately, but you sign us off, take us out of the show. If you want to just say whatever you want to say, say it, and then, yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll see you soon up in the mountains. And thank you, Josh. And thank you, Dylan, so much for having me here. It's been quite an experience, and this is part of that. Just what we're talking about, being able to do something like this is unheard of So it's cool. I thank you all. Can't wait to see everybody on the mountain.
Whee!
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. You're the man, dude. That was sick. Sweet.